Hi, this is David. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create projects in GitHub. Now, there are two ways to create projects. One is by going over here to my icon page. That for me, that's a picture of me. It might just be your initials. And on this drop down, click on your projects. You probably don't have any yet, but you can click on this and say new project right here. And then there are templates for building projects. There's a table which lists things in rows and columns. There's a board, which is more of a Kanban thing, where you can track work items as they are not started or in progress or finished. And there's a roadmap one here. I'm going to use the board template right here. So this is one way to do it. Click on create. And here, this is the whole idea behind a project right here. In this case, it's a board that has to do, in progress, and done. What I'm going to do is just add a couple of items to my to do. Add item here, and I'll say, let's say, wake up, press enter, and then get out of bed, press enter. And those of you who are old enough to remember the Beatles, then you know the next line is drag a comb across my head. And right here, they say they all show up in draft. If I want to, I can convert it to an issue. So an issue is a real thing that I want to do, but an issue has to be tied to a repository. So I tie that to a specific repository. I have this one that I created called GCast GitHub demo, and so on. I can also drag these things from the to do to the in progress to the done as I'm finishing them right here. And in fact, if I click on one of these things like this, I can change its status to done and close it, and it automatically shows up in done right here. I can even do that with draft ones as well. Although I recommend turning them into issues first before you do it. But if they're not connected to any particular repository, maybe that makes more sense. It's up to you. I can also go in here and change it, create a new view from the same thing. I started with a board, but maybe I also would like a table. And so here's the table view of it. It's got 3 columns: title, assignees, and status right here. There's 3 tasks in here: wake up, get out of bed, grab comb across my head. If I want to add something else, if title, assignee, and status aren't enough, I can click on this plus, and there are things like labels and reviewers that I can add to this. Or maybe I don't care about the status. I don't want to show that in the table view. That's certainly fine, but you can do that, or you can say new field and make up your own thing. You know, you could say expected completion, something like that. And there are types of fields you could do. It could be just raw text, it could be a number. This one probably makes sense to have a date in there. You could have a single select, which allows you to do drop downs. So let me do this. Let me save this date thing right here. And now I have to put a date in here, and the control that comes up is this little calendar control like this. And I could do another one. Let me do another new field here. And this one, I'm going to call it, let's see, how about complexity here. And this one, I want to make it single select. And what that means is that I'll add some options in here to say easy, moderate, difficult. So maybe I'll change that, not complexity, but difficulty is the name of that. And I'll save that. And so now I've got a column over here, and all I could do is add this right here. This text box here is just to filter it. If I just put the M, it's like that. If I put the letter A, I get anything. Oh, it has to be the start with it. So like that. So I can specify, okay, this task, waking up, of course, as we all know, it's very difficult. Getting out of bed, also very difficult. Combing my hair, probably pretty easy. All right, now when I do this, I wanted to show you, I said there were multiple ways of creating a project. Let me go back. I should show you also that if I want to, I can change. If I didn't like the name of this project, that's not a very good name for the project. I'll call it GCast demo project. That's probably a better name right here. I could put a description in there, whatever that is. And I can even add a README file. The description is just text, but the README file can have markdown in here as well, like this. And I'm going to preview that before I do anything. What else? Making a copy, whether it's invisible, whether it's private or public. Let's make that one public. What the heck? And when I'm done, I can close it or delete it. I don't want to do that. All right, let's go ahead and save this. Save that right there as well. I think everything wants to be saved. Everything is saved right here. And now I go back and you can see that it has to change the name of this thing right here. All right, the other way I could create a project is instead of going to the projects tab, I can go to repositories. And here's the repository that I created in the last video. And it has up here code, issues, pull requests, actions, etc. It has a project tab right there. And from here, I can link a project. I can link an existing project, click on that. I can link a project, and what I could say is new project. And this, when I click on it, should bring up the same dialog. So I can, again, create a board project. That's fine. I'll click on create. In fact, this team backlog right here is a project template. It's kind of a subset of the board. It looks like the board, but it's a little bit more complex. So let me do that one. I'll use team backlog this time. It just has more columns, new, backlog, ready, in progress, but same Kanban idea that we can move this thing from here to here. And I can add items like do this, do that, test this, test that. How about some projects here? And again, I can make them issues if I want to. But what's nice about this is now this project is actually associated with my repository. Let me go up here. GCast linked project right here. And I won't fill any of the things right there. I'll just save. Looks like I don't even have to save it. Auto saves it. So come back to here. And there it is right here. And just like before, I can move these things around and drag them. I can convert to an issue for this right here, etc. And I can create a new view with the same data if I want to, and then I'll have multiple views. I also, let me show you one more thing. If I go back into here and I open up one of these things, I can assign it to someone. Now I'm the only person that's on this project, so I'll just assign it to myself. But if I invited other collaborators to this, then I would see their names in here and I could assign things to them as well. So this allows me to do this. I can add labels here, specifying is this a bug, is it documentation, is it both? You know, is it a duplicate of another issue in here? So we can assign some pre-built labels in here. I'll just say this is an enhancement. How about that? And we could link it to pull requests. We haven't covered pull requests there. There's priority right here. Is it urgent? Is it high, medium, etc.? And the size of it. This is useful for estimating. You know, typically each one will be double. It's small should be takes twice as long to do as a tiny, and a medium should be take twice as long to do as a small, and so on. So we can specify these. So we've got things that we can add to this individual issue, and it just simply adds these tags on here as information if somebody wants to look at it and say, oh, that's a medium complexity, but it's a small issue and it is an enhancement. And if I go in further and look over here, I see that it's assigned to David. So in this video, I have shown you how to create a project, how to link a project to a GitHub repository, how to create issues, how to modify those issues, and how to create different views of your project. This is David. Thank you for watching.